Hey everybody, Sterling here, and thanks as always for joining us. Now, the following video will contain spoilers, so take a look at the description below. If you have not seen everything we're talking about, go check out one of our other videos. We got something for you. If you have seen it, or you just don't care, then we invite you to sit back, relax, and we're serving up culture and cocktails. Thanks.
Of like his interviews, he's a great impressionist, and he watches people and he watches acting in a very specific way. But then when it was like the action portion of his acting, it was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't stand there for more than 2 seconds. Like, we can see you, right? Like,
and you know what the best part is? That was the best take.
That was probably his best take.
And that's the intro.
Greetings, barflies. It's Big Dan here.
Welcome
you to another episode of BNR. So you will sit and sip with us while we serve up cocktails and culture. Because this is BNR.
Now, to introduce yourself to the people, I'm kicking it over to my man,
Big Dan.
You
already know who it is. Yes. It's Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. Coming at you live from the 215, your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes here. We welcome you again to another episode of BNR, my barfly.
The man didn't take a breath, okay?
Last time. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, y'all know I'm not by myself. I rarely ever am. Because I got 2 kids and I got 2 co-hosts and a wife. Oh, man.
She's not here, though.
I'm just saying, they're not all in here, obviously, but
What are you talking about?
I'm never by myself. I'm just realizing that. It dawned on me that I'm never by myself. Help me.
Kicking it over to
my man, JHawk.
JHawk, baby. We'll get it in post.
Nope. That stays. Help me.
'Tis I, hailing from the land of sake, shinobi, and samurais. The boy is Godzilla personified, no other name but this to go by. It's your boy, JHawk. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
And last but not least, there's another hawk.
Hello there. They call me the stalwart shield of South Philly. They call me the living codex ace trainer of West Willie, Sterling Spencer, at your service. And we like to welcome you to the BNR, which stands for News Review. So we're going to get right to it. Our drunken master is here to lead us in the booze for the evening, kicking it over back to the man with the plan. Hawk from the heavens, talk to the people.
There it is. I wasn't hearing it, so you know.
I'm going to make it.
Right. What we have tonight is actually pretty special. It's Jamaican rum. It's called Denizen Merchant's Reserve. And it's very special. Gotta put it back. There it is. Look at that crispness. So as I read about it, I will let my co-host open.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Wait a minute.
What's up?
I don't have anything to drink out of, man.
That's what I was just asking you.
Yeah.
So yes, as I read about this rum, they can partake in all the good stuff. Denizen's Merchant Reserve, pot still oak aged for 8 years. Denizen's Merchant's Reserve is the first rum consisting of aged pot still rums from Jamaica and a rare component of strongly aromatic Rum Grand Arome from Martinique, yielding a flavorful base spirit that will make cocktails shine. What does that mean? Well, let's break it down with everything I didn't understand. First, pot still. A pot still is a type of distillation apparatus or still used to distill flavored liquors such as whiskey or cognac. Rum Grand Arome. I was like, what's that? And that's rum with an H in it. Yeah. The Grand Arome rum is characterized by its high esters, which are any class of organic compounds that react with water to produce alcohols, and organic or inorganic acids, combined with a high aromatic intensity that can evoke characteristic notes of cooked cane syrup and rum baba, which is a small yeast cake saturated in syrup made with hard liquor, usually rum, and sometimes filled with whipped cream or pastry cream. This is used in, so rum grand arome is used in very small quantities. It can be integrated into rum blends and for culinary use. Martinique, an island in the Caribbean. So there you go.
A much shorter explanation.
Right. The rums used in their blend have been fermented. So the rums used in the Denizen's Merchant Reserve blend have been fermented using the finest slow-working yeast, which extend the fermentation time and allow the ester flavor compounds to fully develop, and then aged 8 years in small, once-used American oak bourbon barrels, giving Denizen Merchant's Reserve an unparalleled level of smoothness to rival the world's best sipping rums. On the bottle, it notes that it is a blend of 80% plumber-style Jamaican rum and 20% rum Grand Arome de la Martinique. Among Jamaican rum aficionados, two names hold almost mythical allure: Plumber and Wedderburn. Wedderburn. But we're going to talk about Plumber because that's what's on the bottle. They're known as old, obsolete Jamaican rum marks from a glorious time when all Jamaican rums were chock full of funky flavors and hogo, whatever that is. But what exactly do Plumber and Wedderburn mean? Dig a bit with Google and you'll find references to pages that describe each as having a specific ester level range. Plumber ester level range is 150 to 200 GR/HLAA, whatever that means. Look that up. I could have been looking this up all day, but I only had a few moments. Tasting notes: intensely aromatic and unapologetically funky. Denizen Merchant's Reserve is a deep amber-colored molasses rum with a refined taste profile, revealing bright, fruity caramel flavors balanced by earthy notes that lead to a long, smooth, spicy finish.
So, I guess with sakes, they have the rice polish ratio, and then the Plumber versus the Waterburn is the, what was it, almost the reagents that react to make this is great. It's a chemistry lesson. We got
no, that was deep. I appreciated the history on that one and
Cheers.
the deep dive of Google search. All right. Shout out to our
drunken master.
Hey,
let's take a bow.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Oh man,
I'm gonna start off by saying this thing burned though.
This is
the smoothness was not there.
I was like,
she.
I was like,
It's, I don't even know how to place this because this is not something normally I would just drink by itself. You gotta
unless you are.
I have
pirate.
cream soda.
All right.
Underneath if you want to.
Yeah.
No, I'm a pirate.
Oh, you're a pirate?
I'm a pirate.
Man, dude, pirate out, man.
I'm a pirate.
I am not. I have 2 kids, man. Pirate, I am not.
But go ahead, tell us what you think about it.
All right, so I don't even know, right? Like you taste it, and it is sweet up front, and then you get the burn of the alcohol, and then like the after notes are like, you know what it reminds me of? Vanilla extract from the islands, which is completely different than vanilla extract
From Acme.
Yes. From me.
So like real vanilla.
Or
I
real
definitely,
ginger.
I definitely get the real vanilla in it.
There's a lot.
There's a lot going on though. Like
there is.
Like I worked on this while he was reading, and it still took me a long time to get the words out.
Back to him.
This is a lot of money.
I think I'm gonna jump to my review because this like it took me for a loop. I thought I was strong enough. And where did that bring you?
Do it.
Yeah, there must be one of us on the wreckage, brother.
All right, we jump in the news.
No. I'm gonna review.
Okay, all right, go ahead. You said jump.
No.
What percentage is this? I'm feeling this already. I should have.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I should have ate more than a
I'm
Cliff
sorry,
Bar.
I didn't even. All the thing I meant to write that down, and then I totally forgot.
I should have had like cheese curls or something. Like
43%.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all have a blessed night. This is it for me. So I'm gonna give it a 4 though. Like out of like a legit rum, this is quality. Like this ain't no cheap joint. This is not something you know.
That is true.
This is not something you
Says the CFO.
right.
Josh is the CFO.
It's in our budget. But yeah, no, this is quality. So I would. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I am definitely going to give this a 4.2. Even though I don't really mess with rums, I don't even really know how to do it. But this plus other things would probably be great. I'm gonna just keep drinking it.
Not the cream soda though.
Really? Sorry.
Not the cream soda. This tastes like a tire. Like a sugary tire. I was like, what is I'm gonna drink it.
It was an experiment, so yeah. Sorry.
Hey.
Experiment successful.
Oh, did you ever say what you would give
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna give it 4.2.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not with the cream soda. My number changes with the cream soda. This is like looking at the bottom of a shoe.
So it's definitely strong.
He didn't predict that, did he?
He didn't. Yeah, I think with an ice cube, maybe it'd be sippable.
I think so. Yeah.
It's very close to like whiskey, and maybe that's because it was, aged in a whiskey barrel for 8 years. That could be a possibility.
You familiar? I like that.
It's by itself, I'd give it a 3. Cause it's rough. It's powerful. It's not, I guess not rough, but it's to be respected.
Yeah, there's not like no punk stuff. Like you can't walk up on this and just be like, run me your money. Like, no, they run your wallets.
Son, I'm gonna give you one good reason.
I like it with the cream soda though.
Maybe this is my cup.
That's concerning.
But I washed my cup. I grabbed it right out the dishwasher. So maybe that is concerning.
Maybe you need more rum coke. I don't know how much I put in there.
Maybe more cream soda.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yes, that's what I meant.
Denizen strikes. In the meantime, what we got going on in the world of comic books? Kicking it to Big Dan. Friends and family, we welcome you to what is known as the shots. Whoever is in the shots is going to be asked a question from our corners of the multiverse, and to get 3 questions. If you get a question wrong, got to take a shot. If you get a question right, then you have the options to take a shot if you so choose.
What's in the shot? Because I believe it's not Denizen.
It's not. It is actually
Releasing the Kraken.
And it's not just any Kraken. It's Kraken Black Spice Rum. This one is only 35% alcohol. Well, that's good.
Only 35, he says. You see, Josh fears actually nothing except the audits that he has to do as CFO.
All right, so we're going to start up these shots.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
It's going to be 2 easy ones and 1 really hard one. Okay.
All right. Ready.
For our first question.
Let's go.
What 1987 protagonist is known as the Blue Bomber?
Cheers.
Wait, try. No. The answer. Let us, if you know the answer, let us know in the comments.
There is some vanilla in that. That's great.
Oh my heavens. Okay. All right.
Marvel's Blade reboot has finally found its director. And so what does that mean? That means filming would soon start. Bassam Tariq is in the final talks for the director. He was also, his recent project was Mogul Mowgli, which had Riz Ahmed in it. Not entirely famous, but enough. Marvel often tries to go for the obscure when they can, and highlight some really good actors and directors. So I'm hopeful. I was also going to read here, I don't know if this is even news, but Space Jam 2 director says the next sequel should star Dwayne Johnson. I have not,
Space Jam 3?
like Space Jam 3.
No, Space Jam 2 2.
Jesus.
You gotta go home, bro. You gotta go. You gotta go. But yeah, Space Jam 3 should have Dwayne Johnson in it. And
Is
I'm
it going to be wrestling?
I don't know.
That's
honestly, to be honest, to the barflies, I will be watching Space Jam 2 eventually.
Eventually.
Is it tomorrow? No, but eventually. I don't think we're going to review it on the BNR just because
that might just be a happy hour. Cause
and we may not be the target audience for this movie.
True.
Which is why giving it a review may not be entirely fair. But other than that, I think I'm done with my news.
Okay.
You got news?
I got some news. Are
Yeah,
you sure?
Yeah, do some news.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, that's better. That's better now.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. Star Wars Visions is going to be an anime anthology of various Star Wars, just one-off tales, done by various anime studios. So we got Star Wars, we got anime. You can understand why I'm literally vibrating with the hype, okay? We have the Steam portable PC console. You heard that right. Steam is coming out with a console. They kind of look like a Game Gear, don't it?
Yeah.
And you can play PC games on it. If it comes with oven mitts for you to hold so you can not burn your fingers off, we'll see.
I have feelings.
That battery life do?
No.
What that battery life do?
Honestly, is it future proof? Like,
no.
Does it hold up for the next generation of gaming?
No. It's probably not even going to hold up for this generation.
I think it will. I think it's just going to get hot in your hands. I think it will get hot in your hands. But other than that, I think it will hold up because the Switch is already proving to keep slightly keep up with current gen gaming.
I don't know, but Switch is it even 60 frames? I think it's 60 frames per second.
And when you reduce the resolution rate, the output is not necessarily as important.
But also,
because you want a smaller screen, the refresh rate doesn't have to be 140 hertz. Like, sorry, I'm really being a nerd right now. But like, other than that, the fan obviously has to be operational. But
real quick, I want to go back to Star Wars Visions.
Yes.
When I saw the trailer for it, I was upset because it looks so good.
Let's go, baby! Star Wars and anime. Of course.
This is going to be everything that I've been wanting from the universe, which is why I'm very upset because I know this will lead nowhere.
Yeah, they're a bunch of one-off stories.
Yeah,
one-off
like
stories.
they're one-off.
Nope.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any effect on nothing. It's just going to be a really cool one-episode anime, and it burns my soul. I'm so mad because it looks really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is the medium that it was supposed to be in.
From Star Wars was supposed to be an anime the entire time.
And it's just like, so I'm excited for it, but it's a very like bittersweet happiness.
Also, take it away with news, my guy. I'm done.
We'll do. All right. So, news. I just wanted to put stuff on people's radar of anime that is either out or coming out that I plan to watch. Not to say necessarily that it has to be reviewed here on the Blerd or on BNR, but yes, these are some things. So first up is Be the Beginning, which is an anime that you can find on Netflix. Here's a premise or the premise. In a world powered by advanced technology, crime and action sweep through the archipelagic nation of Cremona. Chief among the major players is Killer B, a vigilante serial killer who has thrown the city into chaos. The stories of the protagonists, Koku Keith, a legendary investigator of the Royal Investigation Service, RIS, and a mysterious criminal organization intertwine on the path to reach their objectives. I saw the first season maybe like 4 years ago. It was very entertaining, very intriguing. And then the second season just came out maybe last year, maybe earlier this year. So I'm intrigued to see how the story progresses. So be the beginning. Look out for it. For all the JoJo heads out there.
Oh, yeah.
Thus spoke Kishibe Rohan. A popular manga creator becomes enmeshed in paranormal events while conducting research. Stand user Kishibe Rohan visits Italy, goes bankrupt, and more. If you're into JoJo
and you can't get enough Rohan,
right? Yeah, good. There's that one's for you. This is the one thing that I probably will not be watching, but I thought it'd be rude to like not throw it out there.
You're not going to continue your Joe journey, buddy.
Not with this. What was that? Season 6 or whatever.
Part 6, Stone Ocean.
Yeah, Stone Ocean, maybe. But this one, nah. This seems like a spinoff that's not needed.
I am not the target audience.
Yes, I am not the target audience for this one. So sorry. Godzilla's Singular Point.
We'll be watching. I'll be watching it.
You'll be watching.
I'll be watching it.
All right. Well, we're gonna be watching it. Here is the summary. Brought together by a mysterious song, a grad student and an engineer lead the fight against an unimaginable force that may spell doom for the world. It's a Godzilla show. It's a Godzilla anime. Like,
and Godzilla.
Right. And it's not, was it Godzilla Planet, whatever garbage that was. Anywho.
Yikes.
BeaStars Season 2.
Let's go.
Premise: in a world where beasts of all kinds coexist, a gentle wolf awakens to his own predatory urges as his school deals with a murder within its midst.
That's a horrible overview.
That's a great generalization of what this show is.
Because it's not just that. It ain't just that. Listen, I'm stuck. I will try to watch season 2 because y'all told me to watch season 1.
I think if you feel like you weren't into season 1, you probably shouldn't watch season 2. It's probably gonna be more the same.
I've already watched
more
than
Bad Batch.
I've already
What? What you mean?
I'm not watching Bad Batch. It's fine.
All right, that's fine.
I've already watched a whole season.
Yeah,
I'm invested now. Like I normally,
no.
My rule is 3, right? Like if you lose me at 3 episodes, then I'm like, all right.
Then you can part ways with it and be fine.
But if I watch a whole season, you got me for the rest of the show, boy.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
And you gonna hear about it. But I'm sorry.
I may not watch it like as the release, but I'm gonna finish it.
Oh, it's already out. It's Netflix. Netflix throws the whole thing at you.
I know. I'm gonna take my time.
That's fair. That's true. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Back to you, buddy.
We got 3 more.
3 more. Jeez.
TRESE. And I don't know if it's TRESE or TRESE, but TRESE. Based on the award-winning Filipino comic series, in Manila, where dark supernatural forces pervade the criminal underworld, it's up to Alexandra TRESE to keep the peace. But there's a storm brewing. This gave me heavy Blood, the Last Vampire vibes. Spoiler alert, there are vampires in this show.
Oh no.
Right. But it looks cool though. It does look cool, so I'll be watching that. Next, Amazon will be bringing Evangelion 3.0 1.01 Thrice Upon a Time to Prime Video globally on August 13th, unless Japan says otherwise. What's more, they will also be bringing Evangelion 1.11, 2.22, and 3.33. So, in 3 weeks, you can do a whole binge session if you so desire.
Let's go.
Don't.
What? You gotta watch the rebuilds, buddy.
It's up to you. I think if you can go switch what? I think if you haven't if you haven't watched the the series, I can understand why you wouldn't want to watch all of that.
No, I'm just saying, I gave them an option. They can watch it or not.
Oh, that's what about you.
No, I'll eventually watch it. Like I said, if I've started something, I'm gonna finish it.
Did you start Evangelion?
Yes, I did.
Like the series?
Yes. I haven't told you guys because I was just like, I'm ashamed that I just started it now, but it is what it is.
It's fine. No shame here. Safe place.
Yeah. Let us know in the comics. Let us know in the
Comics.
Denizen. Let us know in the comments if you have or have not watched Evangelion, if you have or have not watched the rebuilds, and take this time, please hydrate, like, comment, subscribe, click the little bell.
You said hydrate.
Hydrate,
Hey, we're the
comment,
Blerd bar.
subscribe.
Yeah.
We care about people.
That's
do.
true.
And then last but not least, we have BAKI.
Just kicking
We have BAKI Part 4. It's supposed to be coming out in fall 2021, possibly in September. This is going to be, if you've been following the story of BAKI, this is the fight that everyone's been waiting for since the beginning of the series. So this should be really cool. I'm really excited. I didn't think I would get that into it because I remember watching Part 3 a couple years ago, and I was like, that's all right. But then I watched the original series and then followed all the way up to Netflix. So now I'm like totally into it. It's wild. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
as you
am
can
loving this
see,
cream soda and rum.
I am
by the
now.
way.
I am now. That first time I was like, nah.
Too strong.
No, it was legit like a burning tire. I was like, did he really just try to poison me?
I'm in
Like,
pain.
I'm in danger. We jump into the reviews, man.
This is going to be exciting.
This is our Marvel episode. Like
Marvel-
this is our Marvel episode,
It's
right?
action packed.
Is it though? We'll
Yes.
see. We'll see. But
And we're back with Shotzi.
Shotzi.
You
For those
saw
who-
me. I lost the first one. Can I get it on the second try? Let's try.
I believe in him. So for everyone who reminds, the person in the Shotzi
Shot.
is asked a question.
I don't know why I'm here.
Is asked a question from our corner of the Voltiverse, whoever is asking the question. If you get the question wrong, got to take the shot.
Shot.
If you get the question right, you can take the shot if you so choose. If you are so bold. Seeing as Josh is the man who fears nothing, we'll see what happens. Question number 2. Okay, we're still on easy level here. All right. Now we're looking for a genre name.
Okay.
What is the name of the genre popularized by Super Mario Brothers and Sonic the Hedgehog? It is a genre of video game.
Oh, a genre of video
A
games?
genre
Oh, popularized.
by Super Mario Brothers, Sonic the
And
Hedgehog,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
and Metroid and Castlevania.
See, I'm of two minds.
Okay.
The first mind is like side scroller.
Mm-hmm.
Second mind is of like RPG. So I'm going to go with the first mind being side scroller.
Wait, no. That's why I need the board, man.
Side scroller. There you go.
You
All
did
right.
it.
Awesome. All right. And now back to our episode.
Wait, it wouldn't be platformer?
Side scroller platform? No.
Okay.
Oh, we splitting shots now. Oh, he's splitting up.
I thought it was platformer, but whatever.
No.
Because technically the genre would be platformer. There's no genre that says side scroller.
We can look that up after this. After these messages.
Okay.
And now back to our show.
We're reviewing Black Widow and Loki because Loki's now wrapped up. So, spoilers if you didn't hear the message in the beginning. Spoilers if you didn't hear it when I just said it just then. Spoilers. Spoilers. Anyway, we're going to jump into Black Widow first
Yes.
First.
because I feel like we may have like the least amount to say about it
It's true.
because it was a movie. And
Are you starting us off,
No,
my friend?
no.
Okay.
Big Dan's a comic book connoisseur.
That's
I can't,
true.
I can't.
He's
I
got a
can't.
point.
I gotta wait.
Sorry. You're going last each time?
Probably.
Okay,
It's
that's
easier
fair.
that way for
That's fair.
everybody.
We can go. I got very little to say about this. All right, I'm kicking it to myself. Hey, what's up, everybody? On both of these reviews, I have exciting news to share with you, which is if you didn't ever read any Marvel comic ever, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anymore. And maybe we've hit this point at like Civil War. I don't know, but like now the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so looped within itself that like this movie was like, what? It only borrowed the names of characters in essence.
First of all, you took my line. You literally just quoted me because we talked about this in the car. But it's fine. I'm gonna let you keep going. You just quoted me. I want my credit. Put my name down at the bottom. I want it quoted. I want compensation.
I'm gonna just start over and not quote Big Dan.
Nope. You already quoted Big Dan. It's fine. I want my money.
And I need it now. I think Marvel has just done such an interesting job in the superhero genre where they kind of set the bar, and now all of it's comparing it to. Yes, I did that.
He just realized he quoted me for a second time. I want my money.
I was quoting Josh.
You quoted. Oh,
I heard. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm starting over.
Make up your own notes, man.
I ain't got it.
We had a whole week.
All right, hold on. No, I'm starting over. And you cannot stop me. I control the board. I am the Senate.
But I control the edits.
All right, I'm going to just do
keep
this.
going.
I'm going to keep it real natural because I'm going to kick it to myself. Okay, so.
You act like this is not going to happen. I don't care how much of a time loop you think you just created.
Right.
It does not matter.
I have good news.
We haven't reviewed Loki yet. The TVA doesn't exist. Keep it going.
I have good news. If you have not read any comics, it doesn't matter anymore. This doesn't matter. The MCU is so contained in itself, and I guess it's really been that way since like what, Civil War? Probably. That it doesn't even really, I don't even know. One, I haven't read comics in like 10 years, so I don't even know what stories they're trying to tell. So it was just a good, solid movie. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's fine. It had family stuff. It didn't make me cry. Haha. So actually, it should probably be like a 3 out of 5 because if you didn't make me cry,
it's not worth it.
Is it really exploring emotion? Is it really talking about vulnerability? So now it is a 3 out of 5, kicking it to JHawk because he's got words.
Hey guys. Oh goodness. So
this rum was good. This rum did a thing for this episode.
So Black Widow. It was a fun ride. It was an entertaining ride. I think to Sterling's point, or to one of his points, is that
my point.
You thought.
I think Marvel has set the bar for itself, and unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever it is, like their movies have become passable superhero movies. It's now what we expect. So to be wowed by a Marvel film, for me personally, I've only had it with the first Avengers movie, Infinity War, and Endgame. All the other ones were great. Like Black Panther was great, for the culture. And outside of that, it was just all the other movies are just like, they're good movies, but they're not, wow, that was amazing. That being said, also, if it wasn't, they actually, the humor was actually done very well in this movie. Florence Pugh was actually pretty funny, and I don't know if she was trying to be, but like it was very funny. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was cool. Like, I'm glad. What is it? I'm glad I didn't pay for it in the theaters, but it's a good movie.
So what are we looking at for?
I think for me, it's going to be a 3 out of 5. It was a good movie, but not a great movie. 3 out of 5.
The man.
Yeah, it's Big Dan. From the comic book perspective.
Okay.
To quote Sterling, who quoted me.
Denizen.
Yeah, no. To quote him, who quoted me, like I said, This wasn't. It just took the names and took references and kept it very contained, very concise in a movie. This was a movie that was supposed to be made 10 years ago. That's my feelings. That's how I feel about it. Like, if not 10 years ago, 6 years ago. This should have been right after Civil War. We should have got this movie.
Yes.
We didn't get it. It is what it is. However, what I would say is, I don't even know how to say this correctly without sounding wrong, so I won't say it.
A bold move, to be sure.
No, Big Dan. This is Big Dan being safe. But the movie did very smart choices with humor. Did very smart choices with action. They failed some characters.
Red Sentinel.
They failed some characters. Bless you.
We'll get it in post.
Or not. It's fine. It's a sneeze. A sneeze happens. Speaking of sneezes, Taskmaster. That was a sneeze and a half. Whatever y'all chose to do.
What a transition.
Right? Keeping it moving. Sneezes. Taskmaster was a sneeze. It was a bad choice. You did wrong, Marvel. I don't care how y'all feel about it. Whatever the director's mindset was to go that route with Taskmaster was a bad choice.
Why was it a bad choice?
Taskmaster would have been their comedy and their action.
Oh yeah, Taskmaster's great. Yeah.
Is he like Deadpool?
He's like Deadpool meets Spider-Man during combat. Like, he does not shut up.
He doesn't shut up ever. That's why when in the movie I was like, he hasn't said anything.
He said no words, and then I was like, oh, that's why he hasn't said anything. And I was like,
it's fine. We did say spoilers, so
yeah, but no, like, still.
I just don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it because it was a weird choice to make. I understand, them changing the role and like making it linked to the story, but I feel like giving Taskmaster his own space, like, we wouldn't have cared about when he showed up in the Marvel MCU. Like, we wouldn't have cared where he showed up at, but for you to tie it into an origin of like a backstory of a backstory, I was like,
it could have opened the field even more.
Exactly.
I mean, technically they still can.
Right.
But I see what you're saying. Like, if you would have kept it with like the original, it would have been something where it's like, oh, like he failed his mission for whatever reason. Now he's just off being a mercenary.
Exactly.
But he can always come back. Does this? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue your review. I asked a question.
The Red Guardian, great cast. I feel like the casting was a really good job. Like, they did very well with the casting.
That was a Stranger Things name, Red Guardian.
David Harbour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Red Sentinel.
Kathy Weiss, Florence Pugh. Like, they did very good at supporting characters. I was surprised with the twist they did with Melina, because Melina is legit a bad person in the comic books. And, Yelena obviously comes over to the light side eventually. And then the ending of Black Widow makes more sense now since we've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes.
But it wouldn't have made sense 6 years ago, so I get it.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is referencing the post-credit
scene. The post-credit scene,
right.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
However, if they are leading up into what I believe to be the Thunderbolts, this should be interesting. Or not. This could actually fall flat and they may never do it. I would not be surprised if Marvel does this setup and then does not follow through.
So, because here's my question, though. Do the Thunderbolts engage anywhere in the Secret War?
Not really.
Wait, which Secret War? 2015 or the old one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's probably referencing the old one, because I don't think they're going to do the Secret War at all. I think what they're going to do is either Secret Invasion.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yes, Secret Invasion.
Okay. Yes.
They do pop up in Secret Invasion?
Everybody does. Everybody's in Secret Invasion.
Oh, like everybody was supposed to pop up in Civil War?
Sheesh. So, to wrap up my review,
sometimes I know things.
Sometimes
I drink.
Let him go, everybody. Look at him go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. But I will say, however, that whatever they're going to do with this, it might be too late. I think we may see Florence Pugh, obviously, in Hawkeye's series, which is what their intent is. And you know, I really liked her.
Why is Hawkeye getting a series?
Because they need to give it over to a younger star. That's what this is. This is a passing of the mantle. Hawkeye's series is going to be a passing of the mantle to Kate Bishop. So
who's that?
Hawkeye.
She takes the name Hawkeye.
So this
Kate Bishop is the female Hawkeye. I believe that they're not even related. No. So he takes her as a protege, and whatever. And Jeremy Renner is not a good Hawkeye anyway. So this is good.
Woo! What are your
What are my scores? Yeah. Let's Big Dan be rambling. I'm gonna give this a solid 4. Like, I believe this is in my top 10 of MCU movies.
That's fair.
I think you guys anticipated, and I also anticipated this movie being a bad movie.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was too late. I don't think you should have done it after we watched her die in Endgame.
Spoiler.
No. Endgame happened. If you haven't watched Endgame, you're not watching this. You're not watching Black Widow.
Like, why are you here?
Right.
Why are you here?
Comment below.
Why are you
right.
But we appreciate the views, so keep watching.
I also said spoilers 4 times. So,
our next review.
4. I give it 4. I'm legit giving it 4. Like, I enjoyed this movie overall.
That's cool. I might have to give it the second watch.
This disservice to Taskmaster could have ruined this movie entirely. But Taskmaster wasn't the villain.
Right.
The Red Room was, and you know, they've referenced this in comic books. They've done this storyline multiple times. So, yeah.
Here's my thing. To your point about it should have been like 6 years ago, but the post-credit scene would not have made sense. I think it would have been the greatest thing for it to be there and not make sense. And like, who's this lady? Why do we care about her? And then we see her and
5 years later.
Yeah,
okay.
Like build that and like, oh snap, that's like almost kind of actually what what's his name? M. Night Shyamalan did with there was
Glass.
Right.
Glass,
but before Glass it was
Split.
And before Split,
Invincible.
So it was Invincible. Then at the end of Split, you had that post-credit scene and it was like, oh, it's like that. And then like people were like, oh,
is he creating a multiverse?
Right, exactly. And like, and it's Marvel, so like, of course, people are gonna lose their minds about it. So I think it still could have worked, and I definitely do agree that this movie, even when I saw that it was coming out, once again, this was a movie I really watched because I knew we were going to talk about it. I think had it been right after Civil War, there would have been more pull for that.
And then you wouldn't have needed to do Captain Marvel as a movie. Trash. Wow. Anyway, we're going on to our next review.
In the world of Marvel, sticking in the Marvel multiverse of madness, we are reviewing Loki, which is a 6-episode series. And you said you want to go last, right?
Oh, I'm going last.
Everybody, please stop and look at Big Dan's shirt, so we know how Big Dan feels about this series.
And also, you can get your shirt at, what is it, blerdboard.threadless.com?
Yeah.
Blerdboard.threadless.com. This man's on it. Yo, but yeah, if you...
He's like, I drink and I know things.
If you feel that time travel mechanics are weak storytelling devices, if you would like to see them replaced with other storytelling devices, buy this shirt so that when we see you, we'd be like, oh, they're all the initiated.
But we are the initiated. Hey, we're back. It's the third and final. It's the final
shots.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Right. For copyright reasons, we cannot say whatever you were about to say.
All right. Well,
so for a reminder of those back home, whoever is in the shots, will get asked a question from our round.
The Kumite. What's
I want to ask him a question. If he gets it right, he doesn't have to take the shot. If he gets it wrong, this is the hardest question. This is going to be challenging for you. I'm going to tell you right now.
All right. Let's go.
In the series Ratchet and Clank, What?
Cheers. Catch you guys on the next one. And now back to our episode.
What race is Ratchet? If you know the answer, please tell us in the comments.
Cracking. It's good.
Not sponsored, but we could be.
We could be.
Now,
is he a cat? Is he like a
lombax?
Is he a meerkat?
He's a lombax.
He's a meerkat. And now back to our episode. Catch you guys later. Deuces.
There must be one of us in the record.
I guess I'm just kicking to myself real quick.
Do that.
So Loki, I'm gonna be completely honest. I went into this ready to not like it because
really
I need my defund time travel shirt because I feel like they are weak storytelling devices. I don't like them. They give me headaches because it's always, and then this is this presents so many questions in the realm of comic book adaptations of like, oh, okay, there's always this bigger fish, and it's like, okay, well, where was the TVA when all of this was happening, when X, Y, and Z was happening?
You're
right?
asking the wrong question.
They
brother,
talk
go
about
ahead.
it.
Yeah, I'm saying what I went in with. Okay,
No,
My bad. I'm
gonna let you finish,
Yeah. Be great.
So
Kanye West had the best album of all time, so I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Life of Pablo,
No,
Sick and Twisted Fantasy.
my dark and twisted fantasy. Yes,
Oh.
my beautiful dark and twisted.
Everybody tag Kanye West. What was I saying? So I went in
I'm
with
giving
this.
this fist a massage. Some Kanye West.
This Denizen is something else, huh?
We got to start rapping again. Okay, episode 1. Things I enjoyed. I really like the immediate character breakdown, and I like showing the difference between 2012 Loki and Loki that was at the end of the beginning of Infinity War. Cool. You learn that Loki doesn't like hurting people. Maybe this is a lie. It probably is. In any event, episode 2, it was really cool to see. Also, shout out to One B, who is Ruby from Lovecraft Country and Hunter B-15.
Yeah, shout out to their work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get that Marvel money. Multiverse of money, big. Anyway, episode 2, it was cool to see all that. And then it was like, oh, is it Enchantress or is it another Loki? Episode 3, which is Lorantis. And it was like, oh, this is a really cool running sequence at the end. And then it was like,
It was not. I'm sorry.
All right,
It's
no,
not my
you're
turn.
good.
It's not
No,
my
you're
turn.
good.
It's not my turn.
Episode
Be
3
quiet, Big Dan.
was like, oh, this is a cool running sequence from a standpoint of having acting experience and knowing how difficult. Like, oh, this is cool. Episode 4 was like, oh, she was a Loki. Okay, cool. And I think that's like the most important thing to come out of. Oh, and timekeepers are. It all just kind of like. It very quickly goes from being the focus being on Loki to being like, how are they issuing in phase 4? And then the focus is completely off of Loki. So if you're a Loki fan, I'm very curious. Please comment below to see how you feel about the Loki series. I'm going to give the Loki series, because I actually kind of like the ending for a lot of reasons. If you're
It's spoilers, man. We already said it.
Oh,
Spoilers.
Seeing John Majors come back as the one who, what is it? The one
He who remains.
He who remains. I think I'm fine. If I almost have to give it 2 scores. If you don't care about Loki as a character, then I'm going to give it a 4. If you care about Loki as a character, the very fact that they like switched up all his powers and everything, it was cool to see Kid Loki. It was cool to see classic Loki. It was really cool to see boastful Loki, and they did nothing with him. I was like, that's one of my favorites.
Was that the black guy?
Yeah. Then it's like, if you care about...
Go ahead.
I guess all my opinion's wrong.
No.
So,
No. We agree with
We
that.
have feelings.
We agree
We
that
have feelings.
they did nothing with him.
3 out of 5.
So
If you care about Loki. If you don't care about Loki and you only care about the multiverse of madness that Marvel's creating, then a 4. Because it's like, oh, this is a cool way to issue in phase 4.
But if you care about Loki, 3.
A 3.
2.5. Now that you said it.
Okay. Nope. It's you.
All right. Yeah, go to me. It's fine.
What do you mean go to you? I got words. I got long words.
Hey, kicking it to JHawk. That's
Hey, so we're talking about Loki. So with Loki, I think I want to get some things out of the way before I dig into what I felt about the episode. Loki, they gave him very Diet Vegeta vibes, and by that I mean we always talk about how Marvel's problem is like they kill off the villain, right? And so we always talk about how if the hero lives long enough, they become the villain or whatever, and like that might be a thing. But we never talk about the villains that they keep on start becoming heroes. And that's what we're seeing with Loki. It's interesting that Sterling said that, he might be lying with everything, which would be the biggest con because of this 6-episode arc that we've seen. I want to believe that he's becoming at the least an anti-hero. And sure, but then it's like, why? Like, anywho, so that's one thing of just like him being very like he's almost like if you look at his whole trajectory, I think it's a tsundere. Like
Tsundere?
Like,
not really. I wouldn't say.
He starts off angry and upset, trying to kill everybody, and now he's like best buds with Thor, and he's also very weird. Go ahead, yeah, go to me, yeah, go there, right? But like also very weird. Is it weird if you love yourself? Like yourself?
Hold on. I need you to ask the question.
So ready.
Ask the question, but wait for the answer at the end of this. When I get done with what I gotta say, then I feel like we can answer that question.
All right. Is it weird to like yourself?
I'm time stamping this question.
All right. Cool. Is it weird? Is it weird to like yourself?
It's not weird to like yourself. I think in the confines of like sexual identity and all that stuff now, right? Like that's not a question you ask. I don't think that's a question you ask anymore, because is it weird to love it like yourself sexually, or romantically? I mean, everybody's been 14, so
I don't know what that means.
Nor do I.
No. Like, I mean, hold on. What I mean is like in the realm of like self-discovery and all that stuff, right? Like,
yes,
whatever.
Yes.
Outside of that,
there's
a trauma that is unaddressed in Loki, which makes what you're asking to be entirely correct and weird. Like, it's weird that he's like, oh yeah, I can get with that. And I'm like, what kind of trauma? What's going on, buddy? Like, who do you need to talk to?
All right.
But I'm gonna get you back to your. Go ahead, get back to your review.
He kicked it to himself.
Yeah.
So
did Loki.
So Loki being Diet Vegeta, that's one thing. The second thing, Kang the Conqueror, or He Who Remains. This version, Loki came back at the end and he's like, hey, there's this real dangerous guy. He's the most dangerous guy ever. Oh my goodness, we got to really watch out for him. And I watched the 6th episode twice, because the first time I watched it, the first time I'm seeing Jonathan Majors, the last time I saw him was in Lovecraft Country. So it was just it was a very different take. And I was like, I don't know if I believe it. I'm gonna need some time to sit with this and see how I feel. Read an article. Apparently he went to clown school. Apparently he brought that to this stage of being like, he's like classically trained as a clown, which is wild.
Because you don't see that in Lovecraft Country at all.
Like Yale trains clowns. I was like, okay, now let's go back and rewatch. It was definitely an easier rewatch the second time around. But I will still say I didn't feel the danger emanating from him the same way that you feel the danger or the suspense when Thanos stepped on the scene. And it's like, all right, well, he's Thanos, but like, does he really have hands? And then the Hulk, answered that question.
Body shots.
With He Who Remains, it was almost like a mad scientist, almost like a I don't know if it was smart, but he was just old, and he just knew everything, and he had the technology for it. And then I watched some other video and learned that he's super smart, and he's like Batman to like the nth degree.
Whoa, I think you mean Reed Richards, buddy.
He's like Batman to like the nth degree.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
And so I just didn't get the danger aspect from him. So I say that to say I'm very intrigued to see what they do with these other incarnations, like the Kang the Conqueror that comes up in Quantumania. Mm-hmm. Like, is he out here like just slapping hoes like for no reason? like is he just giving everybody like the Akira discipline? Like, is that what's going on? But like, I don't know. So with those two things being said, I really wanted to make sure that I said those because I was like, this is how I felt in my soul. The series as a whole, it was 6 episodes and they told their story and it was very much a bridge to everything that they're doing now.
Yeah.
So I give it 3.2.
Okay.
3.5. I give it 3.5. 3.5.
Hey, we got there.
Yeah.
So
it's time.
I guess it's time. Right?
It's time. Kicking it the Big Dan.
So you guys may need to fact check me on this one. I don't remember the scores I gave for Scarlet Witch and Winter Soldier. However,
WandaVision?
WandaVision. I call it Scarlet Witch because WandaVision.
No, I understand.
I keep saying that because honestly, it was a Scarlet Witch story.
Right.
Vision was a trade-off. Whatever.
Whoopsies.
It is what it is. But WandaVision.
He's the theoretical boat, right? If it gets reconstructed.
Let him finish.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
He's not wrong, but he has a point. But that being said, WandaVision and then Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki falls in the middle. That's how I feel. Overall as a series.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
One, because it drives the entire MCU along. Falcon and Winter Soldier doesn't really do that much. It keeps it very like ground level, street level, even though the mantle of Captain America has been passed, and that's a heavy mantle to pass. And you feel the weight, and he's throwing the shield and whatever. This seems to drive the story. Loki seems to drive the MCU story along to a point until it then throws it all in the trash. I will say, episode 1, I'm gonna try to break it down in 6 episodes how I felt, and then keep it moving.
Please do.
Episode 1, great character development for Loki. It helps you understand where he's at, being ripped out of time, but yet at the same time still understanding that, like, oh, I'm a bad person, like, and maybe I should fix that. But he's like, no, I can't go back and fix it because I'm ripped out of time. Episode 2, Marvel is very aware that we make memes and that we have conspiracy theories about the MCU, to the point where like the whole reference to Mephisto in the first episode, and then they were just like, haha, gotcha.
Got him.
And the last line being, oh, the variant we're chasing is you. I was like, my.
Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt.
Sorry, the mic is here. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, y'all not about to do this.
I was wondering how they were going. Real quick, I was wondering how they were going to do that if it really was him that they were chasing.
Right.
Like if it was like literally him, but like, I don't know, future him, past him, whatever.
Well,
but
Mephisto is also, once again, his own. He's still very much in the Marvel universe, so he's not a multiversal being. So there's versions of him throughout time as well. So he has his own versions of whatever. So that's probably why it was complicated to try to address that in a time story
with
show.
Loki. But no, I meant like if it was Loki that they like, it was actually Loki that they were chasing. How are they going to do that with this, with the acting and the green screening and the
if they were going to do
all that?
So I figured very early on that it was going to be a female Loki. I would have wished that Sylvie was brunette, just because of the iterations I've seen in the comic books. But it is what it is. I'm a comic book reader. Being picky like that is unnecessary. The MCU is its own universe.
True.
Episode 2 does next to nothing other than recognizing, like, playing with the idea that she may be Enchantress, which probably she was in her universe. Doesn't matter. because she was ripped out of time. Which is why, once again, defund time travel, because once you use that as a plot, nothing else matters. That's how I feel. Lamentis, they were like, oh, if you love yourself and you about to kiss yourself, that's going to make a Nexus event.
Collapses time itself.
Right. Apparently, if you love yourself enough, you can stop time. Take that as you will.
Well, not stop time. You just branch off.
No, apparently you create a Nexus event, which is like, oh, we can't go back like from that. And you create your own multiverse. So
right. You just branch off.
So everybody just go ahead and love yourself and create your own multiverse. Anyway, episode 4. Episode 4, confirms that she's a Loki. Meanwhile, also setting up.
How does episode 4 confirm that she's a Loki?
It starts with her being grabbed by the TVA.
Yeah. It shows her being kidnapped by the TVA.
But, okay.
So even if she said she was a Loki from episode 2 and 3, she could have been Enchantress.
Yeah.
Oh, I took it at face value. Sorry, I'm like gullible.
Nah, people be lying out here.
Yeah, no, that's real. I just would have been like, oh,
okay. Remember the TVA was like, oh yeah, we create everyone.
Right. No, that's real. That's real. Yeah. So, I'm man.
On
back to Big Day.
The formula that Marvel has been following as far as their TV shows, and often sometimes in just general TV show writing in general, when you're about to hit that apex moment, right? Like that big costly sequence scene that's going to cost you a lot of money as far as VFX and all that other stuff.
Did they spend all the money on VFX? Because I felt like they were cheap.
Let me finish.
My bad.
Go ahead.
So that episode 4 went, and I was like, I might be done. I don't care.
Really?
I was like, I don't care. I no longer care. I was like, I knew that the timekeepers were fake.
Okay.
Because I was like, one, you don't just throw that out there, right? I was like, if one, on top of that, I guess it would be 2 because I've already said 1. On the second point, you saw like the one guy looked like Kang the Conqueror, the blue face guy.
Yeah.
The helmet looked very similar, and I was like, all right, y'all doing something. Y'all referencing something here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, they're robots, and I was like, oh, y'all just don't care about y'all fans. But it doesn't matter. Time travel. So then, at the end of episode 4, Loki ends up going to the end of time or the void, which I thought they could have done something smart here and then introduced Sentry. They did not. They introduced Alioth, which is a very throwaway character. Because I was like, Alioth doesn't really do anything other than just be a devourer of time and space.
He just be nomming. That's it.
Right.
He's not important.
Right. Which is an easier thing to cast versus, you can make a Cloud versus an actual Robert.
Right?
That could be
Bob.
Yeah, why we gotta pay Bob when we can make
exactly. So episode 5 did a great thing of just throwing references out there. They were like, hey, if you've read the comic books, you might notice some things here. Like the Thanos copter, the Dark Aether, which was Ronan's ship.
You see
Throg.
Thor's frog. Yeah.
Let me get there. I was going to get there.
My bad.
I mean, Thor is my favorite character. I was going to get hype about that. But it's fine.
I'm not saying no more
You
words.
stole my thunder.
Literally.
Literally. Even the vote for Loki, President Loki, I was like, all right, cool. And
get that.
It's a mini series of a comic book. And I was like, okay. Honestly, that was a very prolific picture of the vote for Loki one. And I was like, oh, that's cool because it was also a paradox, or it was a parody of the Donald Trump elections that were going on. So that was why it was, if you read the comic books. Anyway, they quickly excused the fact that they had a black Loki and then was just like, oh, kill him. You don't have to explain why he's black because he's dead. And I was like, that's fair. Totally fair.
Is it? Fair to who?
Fair to the writers to not have to explain why he's black.
Oh, just them?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We don't matter out here. They don't care about our feelings. So the fact that the crocodile Loki got more love than Black Loki made me just understand. I was like, all right, I get it. It's fine. So
say less.
Say less, right?
Well, you know what though? This is gonna be really sorry. This is when my Black Republican comes out. This Denizen is something fierce.
He actually does not have a Black Republican.
She. To my Black Republican, they already had Ruby. They already had
Mombasa, Renslayer.
Renslayer. That's more than enough. And then they just threw in a black.
Oh, you said
black
more
Loki?
than first of all. He was like, they gave us 2. Why are you complaining? I understand what you're saying. So, camera back on me. Back on me. I'm almost done here. Hashtag cancel JHawk. I don't know what I want to be.
We'll get it in post.
No, you got to leave it in there. That's hilarious. Yeah. So then episode 5 does like little to next to no setup. They were just like, oh, let's show you the strength of these Lokis if they existed in their own time, and they didn't. So they were just like, oh,
that's neat.
Which I appreciated, like seeing Richard Grant do a really good job at being classic Loki.
Are you talking about Old Man Loki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or classic Loki, because that was a classic costume from the comic books, and I was like, that's dope.
I understand.
On top of the fact that if he's able to create illusions like this, and this power is supposed to exist in all Lokis, I was like,
so what should real Loki be?
If he was able to create a whole city for Eliath, right?
Bro.
And then
I'm trying to connect.
And then, right.
Bro.
But then Loki gets to He Who Remains and got a tiny little sword.
Bro. The only thing he conjured was a sword strap.
Right, because he got the sword from the other one.
Because
I was like, what?
I think it's safe to say that we all feel that the written power level adjustment for what Loki should be able to do versus
is it that he just has not lived long enough to know how to do it? Because even then, the power exists.
No, you know why I say definitely hard no? Because in the first 2 episodes, he was trying hard as hell to do power all the time.
Exactly.
So if you come to a place and a kid whisks a fucking a golden dagger in your face, it's like, oh, magic is here. Oh, okay. Right. Let me. But maybe that's a Black Loki thing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
We'll never know now.
Maybe
kicking it back to Big Dan so we can start wrapping up here.
Maybe that's just me.
We gotta start wrapping up.
Fine. No, we don't. Because I'm gonna get this out. Episode 6 did a phenomenal job of introducing Kang the Conqueror, but not Kang the Conqueror.
Right.
He Who Remains
is different. Different character.
One, Kang, aka Nathaniel Richards, which is obviously a callback to Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, and him being
setting it
up big time. Because when Kang finally shows up in like the Marvel universe, the comic book universe, he doesn't care. Like he just shows up any point in time, whenever he feels like it. Like he literally showed up in a Doctor Doom comic book and was just like, "Oh yeah, you created a utopia," and Doom is like, "Nah, no, I didn't." He's like, "Yeah, you did, but we're related somehow." He's like, "No, we're not. How are we related?"
I saw that and was like, maybe we are. Like,
yeah. So, but it's just Kang can just show up anywhere. Which is how I feel about time travel.
Yeah.
Once you introduce Kang as a character, nothing else matters. Because whenever he shows up, if he takes you to another time or another story or another dimension or whatever, multiverse, whatever, you just have that adventure there, then go back to whatever you were doing or not doing, and it is what it is.
He's a great one-off story.
Yeah, but what happens is now that we've introduced multiverse, like we have confirmed it. There is nothing, before it was mentioned in Spider-Man.
I was about to say, Spider-Man was the first tall tale sign.
They talked about it, right? They didn't confirm it because technically there was
was lying.
He was lying.
Yeah. He got it right though.
He got it right. He wasn't wrong.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I mean, because this is where I say the internet is undefeated, where it's just like, when we heard talks of the new Spider-Man movie coming out, and we hear that Tobey Maguire's popping up, we hear that so-and-so is Andrew Garfield's popping up.
Right. But what happens is now you can explain why everything ever made under the Marvel banner exists and is technically canon, movie canon.
Yes.
Because multiverse theory.
Right. Exactly.
And so the biggest draw for the MCU was the MCU's own contained universe. Now you've said multiverse. So now multiverse means you can do one shots with different actors being different superheroes, not hold them to any contracts. This is a one-off story. You know, we may not get another Endgame. I feel like fans need to know that. You may never get a setup of 10 years down the line, 20 plus movies that's going to give you
I see what you're saying,
an Endgame. And I feel like people just need to be okay with that because now they've said multiverse. Now you can have a Black Panther and it not be Chadwick Boseman. You can now have a Captain America and it be some random blonde-haired, blue-eyed, ripped dude. You know,
or Peggy.
And Peggy.
Sure.
Liza.
That's a reference to Hamilton, but Hamilton could possibly be Captain America if you wanted him to be, because multiverse.
All right, so, guys, we've reached the end of the episode.
#defund time travel. Let me give my review for the entire series,
yeah,
because I feel like I rambled, but I talked about it because I feel like if we don't talk about these things, it's a waste.
True.
So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 3.5. 3.5. I think it did.
We have the same score.
I feel like Jonathan Majors showing up did a phenomenal job. I loved everything all the choices.
You liked
made.
his He Who Remains?
Yeah, I enjoyed everything he did in that role. Because it was different. It wasn't the black angst we saw in Lovecraft Country. Because I was very much anticipating that. Because him as Tick was just like, bro, I feel you, but you real heavy right now. Like,
I just didn't know when I saw him as King. So, okay, here's what it was. Once again, the internet being the internet, I knew that he was Kang the Conqueror, but I did not know how he would show up because I had not watched it yet.
No,
so
that's fair.
When I see him and they just say that he is he who remains, and then I had to do my own digging afterwards, I was like, okay, maybe this variant comes in just slapping hoes.
Technically, this variant was the nice one.
Right, exactly.
This is the one you probably should have kept alive, but because
he was tired
because of writing and Sylvie, and Sylvie pretty much was a Star-Lord. She did a Star-Lord moment.
So now I get that reference because somebody put that meme up on Facebook, and I was like, I wonder what that means, and I still didn't get it until this very moment.
Yeah,
but like,
no, it was legit like one of those things. Like it has to happen for the sake of where Jonathan Majors comes in as actual King the Conqueror.
Right.
So I get it, but I would have liked to have seen this one more until Ant-Man sequel, and then him have to force that like character development that then becomes his apex moment or whatever, like his pivotal moment to becoming the villain. But Sylvie just was like stab. So, but
biggest stabby.
We have reached the end of our episode. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before we actually reach the end of the episode,
we have, but I mean,
we're
at the end of time, so we can keep going.
Or the void. Did we talk about him liking himself and how that was weird?
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Because that was
so. It was. Here's why it's weird, right?
Right.
One. He's lonely. Loki's always by himself.
Yes.
There's no around. They've already established that about his character. You're always going to be alone, right? They did the whole scene with Sif coming by and punch him in the nads repeatedly.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's a waste of time. But I was like, I guess it's also a way you can fill in a 4th episode and not care about your fans. I said what I said.
I like seeing Sif. That was cool.
So,
how is she? That's how I felt.
Okay, I was about to say we don't have time for that.
We don't. That's how I felt.
The barflies don't care about me explaining this to you.
Because she doesn't matter.
She does.
Yeah, so I won't do this right now. So him liking himself, I just felt like it spoke to some weird traumatic, you're always going to be alone type thing. So as we're alone, we always, we kind of still have each other type thing. But I was like, bro, no, that's you, fam. But it's not you because, whatever. And also on top of that, like they've already established like his his sexuality being like very fluid, and it is what it is, and Loki's Loki. And I'm like, if that's the case, that you love yourself this much, like you can make illusions whenever you want, bro. Like why?
Illusions don't feel the same. In any event, I think
y'all have a blessed night. That's the end of the episode. What you talking about, fam? I'm going to bed. Y'all gotta go. He said illusions don't feel. How would you know, fam? Y'all have a good night.
It's a perfect
I'm stopping this. Y'all have a good night.